Okay, we're now live. Namaste, dear. Namaste, everyone. We are going to start our talk about the aṣṭāṅgahṛdayaṭīkā, this big red book. And this part is typed already. Our teacher, Professor Aruṇadatta, is going to give us brief commentary on the commentary. Here it's only in Devanagari and IAST, and we are going to receive his marvelous words. Thank you, dear, for sharing your knowledge with us. Namaste.
Generally, the descriptions of the main samhitas based on the words in them and the nirukti or the definition and derivation of the words to clear what really the words in that sutra, particular sloka, meant for to understand the science. The very first sloka, rāgādi rogan satatanushaktan, aśeṣāḥ prasṛtā aśeṣāḥ, autsukya moha aradidhan jagana, yo purva vidyaya namostu tasmai. In that sloka, when you say the very first part, you should know what is really the roga is and what really rāgādi rogan is meant for and what really the satatanushaktan is meant for, then aśeṣāḥ prasṛtā is meant for and aśeṣāḥ is meant for. Like this, each word has to be understood by you. So in that sense, when the rāgādi rogan, when you say raga adihi yesham te rāgādayaḥ, is the meaning. That means the diseases, mental disorders begins from raga. So there is a big list of raga, dvesha, moha, mada, malsarya. There are 6 enemies of human beings. They are the mental problems. That Adi Shabda is meant for dvesha, loba, moha, mada, malsarya, etc. So rāgādi rogan is not only simply the word raga, it includes dvesha, loba, moha, mada, malsarya, etc. So that is what is the first 2 lines. Raga adihi yesham te rāgādayaḥ adi shabdena dvesha lobhadi parigraha. So that also parigraha means that also should be added and understood. Now we go for what is the meaning of rogaha. Rogaha is pain in generally or disease in generally in English. But ruchanti iti rogaha is the derivation of the word. That which gives pain or trouble is generally known as the roga. Then what are the rogas? That is actually roga is not only for the physical, it is for the mind also. Deha manasi santapayati. See, there is a term santapayati. That is very santapayanti means that which give really strain and pain to both body and mind. So roga is the trouble that which is meant for both body and mind. Now, Nanu manastitvad manayeva rujanti iti vaktam. See, raga is a mental disease. Okay. Then how can you add the body here? That question comes. Raga, dvesha, loba, moha, mada, matsarya are the mental feelings. How can it cause the trouble in the body? Then come to the next explanation on that. They are going to explain what is the relation between the body and mind. Tiago, I think the first part is over.
Yes. Clear.
So, do you think it is okay?
Yes.
And the second part is about the body and mind relationship.
Yes.
So, do you want me to explain it?
Yes, we can have a brief explanation. As you think that it's important to highlight,
yeah,
you can highlight.
It is there. See, now, shall I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah, fine. So here they tell that deha mano lakshanayoho vastunoho adhara adheya bhavena sthitatva dvayoravi santavaha yuktaha. The very important relation between the body and mind is adhara adheya banta. What is adhara and what is adheya? It is very clear. Adhara means that which gives support. Adheya means that which takes support. So who is the adhara in between the body and mind? The body is going to be the adhara and the mind is going to be the adheya, because The body is created with a Panja Bhaudika, and it is Stula, visible in nature. In that one, every part of the body, there is mind. Because every part of the body, there is interaction with the outside world, and there is discussion going on to take the right decision to the body. So the whole body contained, or all body, is the seat of the mind. Especially heart is considered to be the main seat of mind. So in that sense, Adhara is the body and Adheya is the mind. Now he is giving an example how the problems of the Adheya, mind, can affect the Adhara. Suppose you are taking a hot iron ball, putting it in a basket, then what happens? The basket get heated. Where from the heat is transported? The heat is transported from the heated iron ball. Okay. So
Yes.
iron ball is inside the vessel and the vessel is getting heated. Suppose if you consider the body as the vessel and the iron ball as the mind, see, the heat is transported from mind to the body. That means the pain is transported from the mind to the body. Yes.
Clear. Just
Can
a commentary about the hridaya, because usually people translate this as heart, but sometimes also we can understand this as the fundamental thing that supports the life or the structure itself. Not necessarily all the time this has to be the physical
Yes.
heart in itself.
Yes. Why the mind is told as the main seat of, heart is told, or the hridaya is told. Hridaya, you don't have to take it as the modern anatomical heart. The systems that which are directly influencing with your panchindriyas, five senses, and receive the objects and decide whether it has to get into connected with that or not. That system can be called as hridaya in Sanskrit. Why? Because it receives the objects from outside and it distributes it to the intellect to decide whether it is good for him or not good for him. So hridayam is considered as a concept in which the reception and distribution takes place. So far, the mind is considered as the seat of hridaya because the objects from outside is coming through the mind senses, and the mind that which is there in this system helps to get it and give it to the buddhi or intellect for to deciding the final decision. That is the reason the mind is considered to be the the hridayam is considered to be the seat of the mind. Now if you go for Adhara Deya, once again, I told you, when the heated iron ball can transfer the heat to the plate in which it is kept. So it is the mind pain can be affect the body. This is the example he is giving. The same way, if the body is affected, if you heat the plate, automatically the heat will be transported to the iron ball also. So if you are getting any physical trouble, it affects the mind. If you are having any mind problem, it affects because of the relation between Adhara and Adeya. This is what is in the second note it is being told. Now,
there is a transmission, a kind of transmission.
There is a transmission from body to mind and mind to body. This is what is really, that is why even though raga is the mental problem, but it can slowly affect the body also. If you think you can understand, if a person is affected by raga, dvesha, moha, mada, malsarya, either he will not sleep properly or he will not take the food properly, automatically it is going to affect his physical body. This is what is the relation between the mind and the body problem. But anyhow, it starts from mental disorders to the physical disorders generally. Now, coming to another word in that one, satatanushaktan aśeṣākāya prasṛtā aśeṣāḥ. That is the interpretation in these coming two lines. Tatha satatanushaktaha. What is the meaning of satatanushaktaha? Sarvāgalam prasṛtā. There is no break at all. It is for whole time. In your whole ayus it is. And sahaja, right from the birth, it is there with you. Which one? Raga, dvesha, moha, mada, matsarya. Generally, when the child is there in the womb, 4th month, the mind of the child will be there inside its womb itself. It grows. Right from that, the mind is there, going to affect the growth of the body inside the womb as well as when it comes outside also. That is why it is called sahaja, by birth itself. Now, there is a term aṣeṣākāya prasṛtā. How can you say the meaning of this one? Two ways you can say. Aṣeṣascha, asau kāyascha. Visheshana visheshya samasa is used. Advantage of this one is the whole body is the meaning of aṣeṣaha cha asau kāyaha cha. In a single body, aṣeṣa, the whole, without remaining a single part. That is the meaning. Second meaning is beauty is there. Aṣeṣaha te kāyaha cha. Here they have taken plural. So kayaha, many bodies. So not leaving a single body. That means not only the human body, it can extend to animals also. That means the animals also have mind and the mental issues in them. That can lead to their body disorders also, their mental disorders also. So Ayurveda is not simply, medical science is not simply for human beings. It is extended to animals. Not only animals, if you take one more step, you can go up to trees and plants also, because they also have the emotions in them if we observe them perfectly. That is the idea behind using aṣeṣaha chate kāyaha in plural to include all other bodies that which is existing in this whole universe also can be brought under this science.
While you're explaining this, it appeared to me also the possibility that the person in other lives, including the life that was not human, this is also being taken from the past to this life somehow. So
that also, see, it is not only if you are human beings, because you know well that if you believe in the birth and rebirth cycle, a person will get only the birth as a human being. And after that, cycle of birth will come. He will get different births. So whatever you call as plant or animals or whatever it may be, they are all having the mind, intellect, everything of their own. But there is no expression because they are such a non-living being. As far as we are concerned, we say that they cannot speak and express. That is the reason. But if you see the language of the animals, you can see their emotions well. If you know the language of the plants, you know the way the plant speaks to you. Because the plants and the animals are once upon a time a human being, or again, they may take birth as human being according to the science of birth and rebirth sites according to this mythology. Okay, Tyagoji?
Yes, great. Now, anything about this part, about the...
Yeah, yes. Now coming to aśeṣāḥ. Why they told aśeṣāḥ? There they are giving, na vidyate shesho, there is no remaining at all. That means sarve samūlaha. That means the disease starts from the root. That much powerful it is. That much powerful the rāgādi rogas are. When it attacks you, it attacks in the whole sense right from the root. You see, if you consider, you know Bhagavad Gita well. Urdhvamūlamadhashāgam ashvattam prāhuravyayam. We consider human being as an inverted tree because brain is considered to be the roots, and below that the branches and etc. You go to that level. So the rāgādi roga is right from the root to the whole body, it is spread. This is what is the idea of saying aśeṣāḥ. Okay, sabija, right from bija. Sabija means, it is again Sangya philosophy. Sabija means from the prakriti. Bija is considered to be the prakriti. Before you become a human being with all these 24 principles, you are a bija. That bija is prakriti. That was the only truth. Right from that, the rāgādi is spreading in your mind. And what the rāgādis are giving to you? It is giving three main disorders in your life. They are autsukya, moha, and arati.
Yes.
Autsukya, moha, aradidaha. Autsukyam cha, mohascha, aradischa, tan dadadi idi. That which give all this. Autsukya is Vishaya Utkanda Agado Abhilashaha, anxiety. Vishaya Utkanda. Utkanda means anxiety. So that is called Autsukyam. What is moha? Karya, akarya, anabhijñatvam. Not knowing what to be done, what is not to be done. So actually here what is happening? Intellectual blasphemy is the terminology. The intellect is not ready to take a firm decision, whether it has to be done or not has to be done. That means actually buddhi is nishchayatmika. Here the buddhi loses its nishchayatmika. That is the condition, moha avastha, unconscious state of the intellect. Whether it is there or not, it is there. But it is not in such a way. And next, the biggest problem of this is arati, anavastiti, sthana asanadishu. Your mind will not stable in one place. Automatically, what will happen? You will sit for some time. You cannot sit for a long time. You start walking. You start walking. You cannot walk for a long time. You sit. This is the problem of the raga, dvesha, moha, mada, malsariya. You just, if you look at into it, if you get angry, you can see what are the mannerisms you are doing. That is called aradi actually. Instability of your physical activities. This is what is. These are the three main disorders given by rāgādi in your body. And autsukyam cha moham cha dandadadi. That is what is the next speaking about. And a Vaidya. Here, this salutation for such a great physician. He is divine physician. What he is going to give you? He is going to give you moksha from all this. Here, not using the word moksha. Jakana. He kills the Vaidya. Hanudadu it is. He is killing it completely. All these rāgādi rogas are completely killed by such a great Vaidya. He is not
Killing
simply
in
a
the sense
Vaidya.
that it should be destroyed, right?
It should be. Jakana is little agara. How destroyed, actually. Okay, so it is compulsory. So such a Vaidya is very difficult because he should be an apurva Vaidya because he cannot be existed previously, he cannot exist in the future. He is such a great Vaidya. If there is any Vaidya who can remove this rāgādi roga, not removing, kill, destroy a person, never. You know well that. What is that state? That state is called Jivan Mukti. So this Vaidya is such a Vaidya, he gives you Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti, once you attain, you are not subjected for Autsukya or Moha or Aradi, and you have no problem of diseases. It does not mean that you are going to become a sannyasi. Never. You have control over your rāgādi rogas. This is what is a beautiful science. That is why they use the terminology. Such a Vaidya is called Aścarya Bhutaha Vaidyaha. Is a wonderful Vaidya who can alone remove this rāgādi. So this sloka, I wanted to tell you that generally the Vaidyas are the persons who remove jvaradi. Anyohi yo Vaidyaha jvaradi nabi ajirothan rogan visheshnaihi avaran mrishtan natada hartum samartaha. Generally the Vaidyas are capable of removing the diseases with proper nidana. That's why achira uttitan, that which is just raised and this is found out, then they can remove it. Even if the jvara itself is achira, that means it is for a chira, for a long time if exists. Even those Vaidyas, medical science Vaidyas cannot remove it. In that way, this Vaidya is going to remove the rāgādi rogan. It starts from your womb. That means 4 months when you are in the womb, this rāgādi roga is there. That is going to be completely removed, plucked out by this Vaidya. That is the greatness of this Vaidya, Aścarya Vaidya, Apurva Vaidya. Such a Vaidya we are going to, I am saluting. Such a Vaidya, please help me to complete my textbook. This is what is Vagbhada is requesting, the greatest Vaidya. You can imagine who will be that Vaidya. May not be a human being, may be a great soul or great supreme self. He who is there, who has no death, who removes all these types of negatives from the human beings. So saluting the great soul, the great almighty Vagbhadacharya start his book. This is what is the Nanti sloga or the first sloga in Vagbhada's aṣṭāṅgahṛdaya rāgādi rogan.
So
Everywhere,
in this sense,
this, yeah.
Sorry, dear. So in this sense, it would be kind of narrowing to translate Vaidya as physician, because in English,
Not at all.
physician is
Not
not
at
going
all.
to take this sense in a broader in karmic aspect and so on. It would be necessary to go something for healer, and that would be including a kind of pandita, also a kind of jyotisha and
Actually, the meaning is the Vaidya word is derived from the word with jnane. So better to take a decision that a person who is having the wisdom. And such a Vaidya single word is enough to cure the diseases. So you can never translate it as the English word physician at all.
It would be a broad sense healer.
Yeah. You have to take it in a very larger sense. So healer is one of the word is generally used in the spiritual books. Such a meaning can be taken here.
Okay. Anything else about this Aruṇadatta commentary that you would like to highlight? Anything about
And
this Charaka, any part? If needed. If you think it's too much, we don't need to go over all the Tika. It's just to give a glance. Because the other shlokas here, you have already commented about the Jwara.
Yes,
and,
everything.
This has gone already. But this part, do you think it's...
Actually, I will give a small, very small brief on that complete, that which is coming out, okay? So the following explanations are how a textbook has to be presented. So here Hemadri gives such a beautiful...
Aruṇadatta.
Hemadri won't give. Yeah. Aruṇadatta gives such a beautiful explanation how a textbook has to be presented. That's very important. Unless and until you say what is the prayojanam, benefit of the textbook, the learner won't be having the real sense of interest in, because fixing the goal, we move forward. Then the journey will be perfect. That's why dhatu samyak kriya chokta tandrasya prayojanam is the Charaka Samhita beautifully given the prayojanam in the beginning itself. But here in this shloka, what he is telling, Autsukya moha aradidan jagana. That is the advantage. Here, Autsukya moha aradis are going to be completely removed. So the prayojana is very clear of this textual learning, because it is going to remove your mental disorders and the defects that which you are going to get out of that mental disorders, raga, dvesha, bhava, maha, matsarya, etc.
Not
So in this
only the physical diseases that usually nowadays people associate to Ayurveda, but including the mental disease and also the karmic diseases.
Certainly, that is the reason. Yeah, that is the reason. Yeah, that is the reason Vagbhadacharya says that Autsukya Moha Aradidan Jagana. He did not say that Dhatu Samya Kriya in the beginning itself. He wanted to say that this is not simply physical disorder issue. This is a mental disorder issue. The Vaidya is capable of removing it first, because it is the root of everything. So he wanted to, that's why physician, he is not a physician, he is a healer. Okay, so Vagbhadacharya is very clear. And immediately he told that there is a relation between mind and body. So automatically this Vaidya is capable of Dhatu Samya Kriya, and protecting the health of the other person is automatically understood. Swastha is automatically understood. So one step more than the Charaka Samhita, the prayojana is told in this Nandi sloka by saying that Autsukya Moha Aradidan Jagana, the diseases, rāgādi rogas which can give Autsukya Moha Aradi is removed by learning this science. Such an apurva vidya, though prayojana is beautifully told in that one. This is what is really the prayojana is told. And what is going to be taught also told. That is the beauty of that one. The textbook is going to deal with the treatment. Because rāgādi rogan satatanu shaktana aṣeṣāḥ prasṛtā aṣeṣāḥ autsukya moha aradidan jagana. So this science, the subject is going to be how to remove rāgādi rogas and the defect that which is affect a person by autsukya moha and aradi. This is beautifully. So what is the subject matter? What is the subject matter is going to be explained. Now, how it can be removed automatically, Charaka Samhita told very beautifully. Hedu linga aushada is considered to be the skanta, or the main pillars of the treatment. That also very here. Causes are, which are the causes? Rāgādi rogan are the nidana. Okay. Autsukya moha aradi are the linga. And aushada is removal of that one, chakana, removing that one. So here very clearly told, Hedu Linga Aushada in this Nandi sloka in a beautiful way. Rāgādi roga are the causes for all the problems in the body. Autsukya moha aradi are the linga, symptoms. Through that you can understand how the disease is being affected, and killing of that one, removing of that one is the treatment. And it is very clearly, it affects body and mind. So Hedu Linga Aushada also very beautifully told by Bhagbada in this Nanti sloka. So this is actually Abhidhana, Abhideya, Bhanta. There is Abhidhana, Abhideya, Bhanta. What is going to be explained and how it is going to be explained is included in this one. Abhideyam and Abhidhana is beautifully explained. So Tantra is the science is going to be the Vidheya for you, through which it is going to be explained, and Hedulinga Aushadhi are going to be explained through this science. Beautifully told by Vagbada in this sloka. Such a salutation he is making here. This is what is the total explanation for the description, extra description for the first chapter, first sloka. Is it okay?
And people tell about Ayurveda as being the science of life. But as you explained, the dhatu of Ayusha is ingato, in the sense that it's moving from one life to other life. So if we take in this sense, Ayurveda is not the science just of this life or the ecology of this life, but also the spiritual upliftment from one life to another, in the sense that we are developing as human beings, not only as a health in this life.
Once again,
we are evolving as human beings within the scope of Ayurveda. There is this spiritual dimension of healing our past karmas, and not only healing the jwara or the raga, is healing all this and all the process of reincarnation and the idea that we are taken away from God or awareness of Purusha. And so Ayurveda is more than the science of life.
I'll tell you that part also. Ayurveda is not simply a science of medicine. It's not simply a science of medicine. Medicine in the sense, aushadam is the terminology in Sanskrit they will use. There is another term called bheshajam. Bheshajam, which includes all other aspects of maintaining a healthy life. Sadvrta is there. Brahmajnana is there. That is why in Sukhasadhya Rogas, they will tell Yuna Pumso Jitatmanaha. There is a term Jitatmanaha. A person who has win over the self. That means self-realized people who know what really they are and what they are doing. That self-realization. It is a part of spirituality. And if you go for the second chapter, Dinacharya, a big part is given for Sadvrta, how we are living. This included in the Atmiya Shastra and Dharma Shastra. So how can Ayurveda be simply a medical science for physical disorders? Not at all. It is a science of life. It's a science of life which includes Dharma Shastra, Atmiya Shastra, Bhautika Shastra. Every science is at a single cell is given by the medical science of Ayurveda. And in that one, aṣṭāṅgahṛdaya is giving beautifully importance to all aspects of the human life. All darshanas, all the dharma shastras and sadvrita, everything is beautifully explained in this textbook. So it is not simply a medical science only for the physical disorders.
Yes, unfortunately, still in the West and in Brazil, I can say for sure, people actually are not aware of the concept of sadvrita and all this discussion. They only take the first half of the Dinacharya chapter and say about this time and this stuff. But when they say don't lie, oh, what do you mean that Ayurveda say that this is the cause of, also a cause of disease? This part people just like pretend that they are not watching or seeing.
Actually, they have to open their eyes now. COVID-19 has come. You can see the main thing they are telling you: put mask, you don't stay in the crowd. They are not telling that you take this antibiotic, you take that one. First itself, precautionary medicines, if you see, it is sadvrita. How you have to live in the society, how you have to control your mind, how you have to control your body. Now you see in India, in COVID-19, the yoga is being very much accepted for the treatment protocol now. Big part of the treatment is now in controlling the mind of the patient. You just imagine, how can you say that aṣṭāṅgahṛdaya, the second chapter, Sadvrita, it is simply is being told, not at all. Simply it's not, it is not being told. Beautiful steps are there. If you listen, you can see. There are 10 dosha karmas, dushta karmas. It should not be done. If you read the
I know
10,
them.
yeah.
I recorded
If
them.
you tell that, yeah. If you tell that, you can find out that and all makes your life disorder. And your order in the life is lost. If you lost the order in the life, it is going to affect typical type of problems in that one. And you see adharma. This is a very beautiful thing. When the dharma is lost, you will be ready to do any action. Yes,
sarva
yes,
pravrittaya sukancha
yes.
vina dharma tasmad dharma paro
Yeah,
bhavet
yes, yes. And if
kalyana mitra nite sevita tara duraga
correct,
imsaste anyatakkamam paishunyam parusham rute
yeah,
sambhinalapam vyapadam abhidya drikviparyayam papam karmeti dashada kaya vangmana saityajit.
correct,
But
correct.
this part is still not very much
Now, these
within
slogas you see, the beauty of these slogas you see, without dharma, your sukha is dangerous. COVID-19 taught us in a very beautiful way. It is sure that it is going to affect you very, very badly. And you are not going to be saved out of it if you enjoy your comforts without following the dharma. And immediately you will understand what is the meaning of dharma. Dharma is a beautiful terminology. Dhriyate lokam asmin. That means, sorry, anena. With that, the whole universe is being holded. That means you are keeping, well, the whole universe is a seat for new productions based on Ushna and Shita. Okay, all the changes. If you say virus, it formed because there is some temperature variation, there is some moisture variation. That is why new virus is formed. Why new bacteria is formed? Many living beings are disappearing. Why? Because the temperature variation and moisture variation. So you know well, when you live a dharmic life, this system will be collapsed. So new viruses and new bacteria will form. You may go for laboratory tests, you may go for vaccination, finding out that and all. You feel that the vaccination, that which is going to help us in a large way? Never, never. Because it is another poison you are injecting inside your body to block another poison. So we are creating new poisons and new edges. Where from it started? You forget that you are an individual. Your actions also directly or indirectly supporting the universe to maintain its balance, healthy balance of Ushna and Shida, I will call. Ushna and Shida, you can call it as plants and trees, you can say ozone layer, whatever you want, you explain. But these all are directly, you know that if ozone layer left out, ultraviolet the rays will fall down. What is happening? The Ushna changes. Ushna changes, automatically moisture changes. It causes new bacteria to form. That's all. If you say the hot increases, Antarctica, the ice balls will be coming down and the sea will spread and the land will be swallowed by the sea. There also Ushna and Shida only. This is all because the lifestyle of the people indirectly. This is what is dharma actually. Not simply sitting in front of the God and chanting mantras. And what is the advantage of chanting mantras and sitting in front of the God? Your mind will be under your control. That is why bhakti is the marga to achieve the real knowledge, what really dharma and what really you have to do to protect the universe to stay stable always.
Thank you, dear.
So such a way,
Very
okay.
good. Anything else about Hemadri's Tika today? Would like to share anything there, or it's enough for Aruṇadatta?
I think Aruṇadatta is a great scholar. He gives importance to language and he gives importance to other aspects of the knowledge, such as spirituality, dharma, and the word nishpati, nirukti, and etc. But when you go for the Hemadri Vyakhyana, he interprets everything in terms of clinical advantage. He look at even the philosophy, he connect the Dharma Shastra more directly to the clinical aspects than the Aruṇadatta, he travels through the language, he travels through the philosophy and make you think this is the application of this language and this in the science. But Hemadri directly take you to the clinical aspects of all this philosophical, dharmic, spiritual aspects, everything directly to the clinical aspects. This is the difference between Aruṇadatta and Hemadri. If you read both Vyakhyana, then the understanding level will be very clear and very perfect.
And usually it's much more synthetic also, Hemadri.
Hemadri will not explain more and he gives simple brief because he wanted to directly connect it with the clinical aspects. 1 minute, Tyagoji, 1 second. Okay.
Yes. So this class, we are now for like 2 or 3 years taking class with Ramadas ji. And this is mainly supported by people that make consultations with us, people that have classes with us. For the last 1-2 years, we have been working in this kind of documents. I'm showing you only part of the document because the other part is bigger and there would be too much information here. And the idea is just to share a little bit to create an Ayurvedic awareness of the importance of an Ayurveda that is beyond the classical book. It's also reading the tikas, the commentaries, and understanding that they are just like, you don't drive a car just with the wheel in your hand. Is it wheel? Doesn't matter. You have to have a system that it's the engine and the brake. So it's the classical text is the fundamental part, but without the tikas, sometimes you're just like moving your hands, but the engine in your feet are not working very well. Any final remark about the Hemadri in this part, dear? Anything needed? We can...
Nothing. This is sufficient. This is sufficient.
It's sufficient. Okay.
Yeah.
Every time that we can, as we go on with these studies, we can share a little bit. I thank my dear professor for his kindness to share this with people. And if you have enjoyed this video, please share, please comment, please like it, because all this will help this Ayurvedic awareness increase in the sense that we are nowadays available to be in our houses listening to our Ayurvedic and Sanskrit and whatever teachers directly from India. Okay. Thank you, Ramasji, for being present with us and kindly sharing your knowledge and your wisdom with us. Let's finish the translation. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah. Hari Om.